Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today we will discuss uh, about the incident what happened in the Pahalgam and the terror attack, and we will try to see it with the lens of our spiritual uh, book Bhagavad Gita. So uh, I am making this video in English just because I want this video to reach worldwide. Then not taking much of your time. Yeah, let's start. So, responding to prayer with wisdom, timeless messages of Gita. This is the title of this video. And look, uh, so, so here what we saw in the tragic event at Pahalgam, more than 20 innocent, in nearly 26 innocent terrorists were brutally murdered in the terror attack. Reports state that the terrorists specifically choose their victims along religious lines before killing them. They asked their religion, they asked about and they did some other sort of things with them, and this was the incident happened, which we all know about. This was not an act of the random violence. Are we getting it? It was a calculated attempt to destroy communities, spread fear, destabilize the region, divide people, and weaken the local economy. And there was no moment to let oneself to be overwhelmed by mindless fury or reactive anger, as that is exactly what the force operating behind such conduct desire. What is that? At such a moment, when sorrow and bewilderness grip the mind, what we need is firmness and fearlessness born of wisdom. When it happens, so what we need is firmness and fearlessness born of wisdom, which comes from wisdom. That's it. So, as I said, we will see this incident with the lens of our spiritual books, and specifically from Bhagavad Gita. So, why is Gita relevant here? In such moment, terrorism is not just a confrontation with violence. It is not from violence. It is a confrontation with the breakdown of understanding, leaving us bewildered, enraged, and afraid. The Bhagavad Gita too starts at the same place, the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where base emotion rule and clear action is obfuscated by feeling. As we saw at the time of battle in Kurukshetra, emotions were how uh, Arjun was filled with the emotions towards the Kauravas, and he was not ready to fight. So this is here we are discussing that. A clear action is accused by the feeling. Terrorism seeks not just to take lives but to unsettle us from inside. Then the Gita was relevant not in scalded and peaceful environment but on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Because the Gita, when Gita originated, when Sri Krishna um, told the Gita, where was it told? That scenario is very important. It was not written, or it was not told in peace. It was told in at the time of war. So we must understand, when Arjun, the greatest archer of the era, over that time, as we know, he was the greatest one, was paralyzed by the grief and uncertainty. Then Gita came in existence. So we must also understand, when we are very weak, in the situations when we are very weak, we must take the inspiration from our scriptures, from Gita, what Krishna says, what Krishna told us. And those things what was told at that time, they are relevant today also. That's why Gita is timeless. Gita is timeless. Much like Arjuna, we too frequently experience moral ambiguity and face inner conflict. As we face it, to let Gita help us, it is not to be worshipped as a symbol, not recited out of habit, but to be understood and used as a mirror to examine and working of our provoked and distressed mind. Time of severe crisis. At the time of severe crisis, like a terror attack, which happened recently, when inner balance is lost and fear overcomes, it will act as a living guide. As I told you, Gita is relevant today also. It is timeless. Then, as we here went through the relevance of Gita and as we discuss about the incident, it is very important to understand the root of the cause, root of the terror. This is the way most important point. Why it happens? Why a person uh, pick a gun and start doing this? Why? We must go to the root of this. And now we will be discussing about this. We will try to take some crux from the Gita about this one. As our scriptures are more than relevant, we have the what the problem is, we don't follow them. We have lost them. We are so busy in our lives, in our pathetic lives, as I saw, that we have lost everything. And leave it. We will deviate from the point. So right now we are going to discuss about the root of the terror. Terrorism does not begin with weapon, as we know. It doesn't start from the weapon. Weapon is the later part. Violence is merely the end result. The result of the terrorism is violence. Its roots lie deeper in the human mind. Start from the mind, ignorance, fear, and inner void. Even though people who turn to terrorism may outwardly appear ordinary, their thinking has often been influenced by the years of ignorance and indoctrination. As we know, it takes years of the indoctrination and ignorance of their life. To combat terrorism effectively, what we should do? We need to look at the social and psychological factors that contribute to its growth. Much like a doctor who looks into the cause of disease before suggesting and treatment, we need to understand the environment that encourages extremism. Research studies indicates that areas characterized by the poverty, illiteracy, marginalized and rigid belief system, especially those where inquiry is discouraged and dialogues is suppressed, are the site where terrorism grows. The situation, these lines are very important. Every person must think deeply about this line. Poverty, illiteracy, after these are the common factors as we know, but especially discouraging of dialogues, suppression of thinking, these are the grounds for the ground for the root and the root cause of the terrorism. The situation becomes even more precarious when combined with the political instability. These are the things. Fragile institutions and rapid population growth. These are the so these lines we must understand from where it grows. Poverty, illiteracy, marginalization, and rigid belief system. Belief system should be changing, especially where discouraging and dialogue is suppressed, where the society is mostly suppressed. They have no right, uh, no, no freedom for their thinking, for their words. These are the places where the terrorism grows. The situation becomes more precariously combined with the political instability, fragile institutions, and the rapid population. These are also the firing points for that. But there is a more profound truth that lies beneath all external circumstances. The Gita asserts that fear, desire, aggression, and the need to dominate are all innate animalistic instincts. Even a competent mind may be susceptible to manipulation if these instincts are not sublimated through awareness and education. Even a competent mind may be susceptible. Competent mind can be also manipulated. Here you see, if these instincts are not sublimated through awareness and education and the awareness, as I told in my last video also, that awareness is the most important point in today's scenario, and it ever was, and in the current scenario, current time period, by the use of technology, we can easily do that. So, in absence of awareness, education, in this such kind of state, a person become a source of suffering, not just to the world, but for the oneself first. For the oneself first. So these are the lines for everyone, whoever is listening in to this video come audio, whoever is listening. This is for everyone. The root cause is suffering, fear, desire, aggression. Before going to that path, this is very important to know that the suffering comes first to the person who is doing this, and after that it comes to the other people. Because without being violent from inside, you cannot be violent for your outer world. And if we have discussed about the root of terror, then we must know the real aim of the terror. What is the aim of the terror? Terrorism is not merely about killing people. It is not about killing people, just its fundamental objective is to create a generalized fear. Create fear is the main objective of the terrorism. By killing it, by doing some other stuff, and by doing all these things, dividing society, by asking religion, and all these things are happening. So these are the aim of the terrorism. The main objective, main aim is to spread the fear. Even though there may not be many direct victims, the psychological effects are meant to shake entire community. They want psychological effects, as it was our 26 innocent people were killed. That was not the whole country, though they was from all over from the all part of the India. But it was for the psychological effect, to print a psychological effect on whole country. You must understand this. And it was for the sow suspicion and the undermined trust in between us. A society governed by fear become easier to divide. This is the see the root cause, see the real aim of the terrorism, and try to understand it. Try to understand. Don't go by these newses, these fake newses, these misleading facts. Try to understand here what I'm trying to say, and what Gita is trying to say. These are not my thinking. These come from our spiritual scripts, and what I am trying to convey it from my words. A society governed by fear becomes easier to divide, provoke, and manipulate. When it happens, it is very easy to divide the society and manipulate it. The deepest damage caused by terrorism occurs through this emotional destabilization. So this is the main aim of the terrorism, to destabilize the society by the fear, by manipulation. So here what I uh, here see. So where Bhagavad Gita timeless clarity comes to the rescue. So here Bhagavad Gita comes for the rescue. It teaches us that the real struggle is not merely external but internal, as we discussed before. That it is not external, it is first internal, then it comes outward world, external. Fear, uncertainty, and blind reactivity undermine peace more than any weapon. Arjun was not merely instructed by the Sri Krishna to fight, but to fight with the clarity, free from fear, resentment, or attachment. He emphasized that the real battle is not against external foes, but against the inner chaos that clouds judgment and binds one to illusion. The very cycle that retaliation aim to end can often be reinforced by it. This is similar to the myth of the Rakta Bij, a character in the Durga Saptasati, whose even drop of spilled blood spouse another demons. The more he was attacked, the more demons multiplies. In the same way, an unchecked reaction can reinforce the well evil we wish to eliminate. The true So try to understand the true remedy to this problem lies in understanding the ignorance and fear that sustains such violence at its root. So what is the end game about this article, about this video? Clarity manual is here. See, this is about Arjun. What Sri Krishna is saying to Arjun. When Arjun stood at the brink of battle, he quaved, he fluttered, his heart sank, and his bow slipped from his hand. It was not the fear of being killed that caused him to shake, but the pangs of attached feeling and the moral uncertainty. Sri Krishna did not motivate him, but provided wisdom. Motivation is so nowadays you know about the motivation industry. Sri Krishna did not motivated him; he gave him wisdom. Sri Krishna told Arjuna that strength was not defined fundamentally by muscle, weapon, and cleverness, but as the result of personal stability and integrity, where a person is free to act without personal interest or attachment. So here, terrorism, in current scenario, terrorism seek to provoke us into fear, anger, hatred, and revenge. We allow fear to dictate our action when we react blindly. That is precisely when terrorism succeeds, not just in the violence, but in shaking our inner state. So what? See, Krishna warns us against this. While he acknowledged our suffering, he exhorted us to try to understand the situation with clarity rather than responding impulsively. The Gita's core teaching is right action must be based in wisdom. Whatever action we are taking must come from wisdom, from inner clarity, from inner peace. So this is for everyone. This message is for everyone. I tried to convey this one, and current scenario, this is much needed. I thought that this is much needed one, so I tried to convey this one, try to understand this one, listen twice, thrice, until unless you understand. If you want something to say, you can put it in the comment, and thank you for listening to me. Thank you.